So it looks to me like I'm back on the stream here. We've pulled up, back. Are we going to take this VWAP to VPOC trade? A lot of liquidity above. The POC pulled down here at about 12 and trading up for it. Will we come back down and test this at 6? That's the question. I noticed that the volume on the stream is considerably lower than that on other, like Y-files or something like that. I'm not sure exactly what to do. The mic volume here is wound up as high as you can get it, pretty much. I don't know exactly how to go about that. So just to recap, it's the second stream of the day. It's the 29th of December, 23. It's now 13:30 Central Standard Time. You can see what's happened here. We've had it finally got a VPOC migration down around 12 o'clock. Came off the lows, back up here, dancing around mid. VWAP, are they going to go up and have a price check at aisle 3? Or are they going to pull the VWAP to VPOC trade? That's a big if. Let's see what happens over. What do we got to look at over here? Well, that was the short from hell that I'm so sorry I missed, and actually went and did something else, went for a walk. Back now, we bottomed out here at what? Bottom out any place special? Finally got that migration down. And now we're up here nearly to the developing value area high, which would be right here. So we've essentially traded across value. Not sure what to do about this volume story. Everything seems pretty loud to me. When I play back the recording, it seems loud as hell. I'm not sure why on YouTube stream it's not. In comparison, if I leave the volume set at one place and move from one stream to the next, my stream to another one, then the volume just suddenly spikes way up. And I'm not sure how you go about that. That seems like a good job for Google. But I do believe that I was successful in getting rid of the clipping part. At least the audio sounds acceptable to me at this point. So we'll see what happens. And I was thinking that this was going to be a VWAP to VPOC trade, which would have been about almost 10 points, 6, 7 points anyway. It may still be, but it's not looking real likely at this point. However, you could kind of call this a developing value area high, or starting to look like mean reversion. Maybe it's that phenomenon, the human phenomenon to see patterns. Starts with a P. I got to Google that. That name word is driving me crazy. I can't remember. Also, we have a possibility here now that we'll get up here to this VPOC, developing value area high, this NVPOC, not quite to the previous VPOC. Whoa, 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 don't be doing that. Not quite to this price check at aisle 3, which is way up in here, but to these, come on now, to these areas, the developing value area high and the NVPOC, and then start and the low volume node here and start a mean reversion back down. I would enjoy at least one reasonable trade out of this day, but we'll see what we will see. At the moment, it's just parked on the mid, which is obviously by definition an over under. It all sound pretty loud to me in my headset, so I'm not sure how to up the volume of the whole stream. That seems to be what's required. But it's quite usable for me. I normally listen to them on my phone as a test when I'm doing something else, and then rewatch the stream when I'm serious about doing it. So let's look and see if we get up to these areas here, this developing value area high, the NVPOC. Also starting to look into time. We're coming into the 2 o'clock or the quote unquote power hour. They may decide that they want to spank a bunch of short guys. They've done a fairly fair job of it here, but if they get up to this low volume or high volume area, high value, developing value area high, and extremely low volume node, then they can easily start this number. right now we're at the Globex VWAP. This is right here. And you can see it right here on the full session or the Globex. And here's the VWAP on the current session. And here it is on the chart session. Oh. I think probably the only thing that's more frustrating or deleterious to your psychological capital is then not trading a big move like this, is to keep watching, then put a trade on and have it go against you. That's I'm not saying that that's the case or that that's going to be the case, but like you watch it pull back and drop and pull back and drop, and you think, pull back and drop, and then you get stopped out. So instead of 20 handles, you lose 3. Not a pretty picture. I don't know what the one views is. I keep seeing one view immediately joining up on the stream. I don't know if that's actually, maybe it's YouTube doing something that I don't know. Maybe it's the algorithm somehow or another. A little bit something that could be more of a background music as well as the be right. I have 2 now, which is Be Right Back, the walking bass and the piano for the starting soon. The problem with any kind of music, or at least what I've discovered so far, is the copyright story. And there's something I don't really understand about that whole thing. The music that I have is definitely copyright free because I went to a specific source that is from Google, copyright free music. Now, I don't know what happens if you are playing something and say it's on your phone and your phone is streaming, is being connected to the stream as an audio source. For example, I don't know that. In other words, restreaming something that's being streamed. I don't know how the hell that works, and I frankly don't know how the algorithm is able to detect the music and see whether it is and know whether it is copywritten or not. But it sure as hell does that. I know that in a few cases, that always in every place I've checked, it says, record a couple of streams, and before they're public, make sure that Google doesn't give you any trouble, or YouTube doesn't give you any trouble for the copyrights. And I have done that, and this is all fine. But I do remember once in the past, before I knew about all this, back in KL, I had some jazz that I liked, and I had it linked. Sure as hell. You get some sort of an email that says this music is maybe copyright or something like that, and they take it down from public to private, or I guess, and I think they send you an email warning or something like that. If I remember right, this was years ago. Beats the hell out of me. And how the story works with the phone. I see some people talk about, if you're listening to music, you can plug your phone into the Roadcaster 2 as an audio source and have that music in your stream. And how the hell does that work? Because I have no idea if that music's copywritten or not, or if the people that are streaming it over the YouTube channel or wherever you're getting it from if they've copywritten it, so I don't understand any of that stuff. But, this is all above and beyond the purpose of the stream, except for the fact that it is kind of, when I'm reviewing the stream, it's kind of nice to have some relaxing music going on there in the long periods when there is nothing to talk about. And I don't think just talking for the sake of talking is the right idea. So we are now struggling little bit by little bit up to this developing value area low, the naked volume point of control, which is no longer so, and the low volume area, which could well present itself as a mean reversion back down or an over under point to go up. So let's see what happens. Here, I'm still set up and got my trade set up active. So, trade panel or whatever they call it. And I don't know. These waiting moments here. Actually been a nice grind up, but in counterintuitive to the VWAP or VPOC shift down. So that's something. And so we have the base, the walking base. And here we come up to that developing value area high and the naked volume point of control, the former naked volume point of control from yesterday or days gone by, not yesterday. Oops, wrong mouse. Doopsie. So let's just see. There we are. Let's see where we are here. So here is the naked volume point of control, and it's from day before yesterday. And it was taken out originally when we dropped through here. We're coming back up here below the volume, and this is the developing value area high, and then here would be that naked volume point of control from day before yesterday. And our price is just coming up to regain this area. It appears that they're going to try to time the arrival at that developing value area high at just right about 2 o'clock or 1400. Right here. This is Central Time. Always, all my stuff is in Central Time. The futures market trades in the CME, Chicago Mercantile Exchange, which is in Chicago, coincidentally. And that is Central Time, Central Standard Time, USA. So, and I happen to be in Central Standard Time now for the past 2 years, actually. Wow, time flies. We moved here September of 21 from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Got some lid on the pot there. Somebody jumped up there with a couple hundred contracts at 20. Kind of proud of that developing value area, I guess. Now that's all sell side, right? This liquidity up above here. So are those new shorts initiating, or what I suspect is they're the high time frame guys that were selling, that were buying down here, and they're selling up there. I think I'm having a phone call here. Hold on. And this political situation in America is just Such a joke. And the scam calls and robo calls are now off the charts. Where the hell they get your phone number, I don't know, but I can certainly say it's not fun. Right at that developing value area high. Anyway, what I was saying before that damn phone rang, my estimation is these are longs liquidating from down here. I think that the higher time frame are the people that can move this market. And they buy down here, probably after having sold up here. I mean, think about it. You sell up here, you let it fall down to here, and you buy, and you bring it back up to here, and you sell. So you've made, 20, 40, 50, 60 handles. 25 down and 20 up. And you're doing that with a fistful of contracts. You're making quite a bit of money. And they have obviously traded out their liquidity. That's now disappeared right here. Some little algo guy jumping in and out of here, flashing back and forth. But here we are, the developing value area high. The liquidity was taken out. And what are they going to do now? Take it up or take it down? And they're just sneaking up on two. If they can get a neutral day out of this one, that'll be a feat. They've got to get up about another 15 handles to get the IB high. So what are we going to do here? Are we going to sell off and actually break down with a mean reversion? Or are these guys just dreaming? There we had 164 contracts trade out at that stop, or whatever you want to call it. We're going to go down. We're going to probably come back up and test. Will we have an exhaustion? Will there be some momentum? And will it be a trigger for a short? Bear in mind that it's pretty clear sailing above here. If price gets into all this low volume stuff, like the old, pretty much like the market profile string of singles, it'll eat those singles up like candy. The colors on my market profile chart here are not very good. This dark blue is C period, but you can see that's a string of singles from about 80 to about from about 21 to 27. So, and here, this is the current price level. I need to change the background, I guess, so that's easier to see. Or if I remember correctly, that color scheme is called rainbow or something like that. But it is pretty handy if you trade market profile all the time. You can know just what bracket you're in, which is a 30, and each bracket is a 30-minute period. So there you go. Well, we traded up to 1. There's 16, and there's 1. Kind of exhaustion. Now are we going to head down? This is where I would get into a trade and be a late entry at 18 and a half. And we do have 3 points down there. I'm still not convinced they're going to go down with it, though. And I don't think that's a bona fide setup. Hi, Panda. Hi, baby. Oh, such a pretty cat. Yeah, Panda, such a pretty girl. So here we go now. 2 tests up to the value area high, developing value area high. Pulled right back down to this high volume node in this microstructure. It is not the POC, that's down here, but this is only at 1100 and change. And what have we got here? We're at 69, so 3,000 contracts, and the POC can trade back up again. And up here was only 10, so, because it's such a low volume day, pretty much anything's possible, I think. And if you want to be real technical about it, you could say this was the low volume node right around up here. So it's pretty close. And they're going to trade down to here or here-ish. This is the low volume node. Now, I didn't take the trade at the exhaustion. Now at 17, I would be scaled and risk neutral. 20, say. 19. Okay. Anything below here, in my opinion, is too late of an entry. Except there is a structured trade, which is VWAP mid to POC. One thing that you could pretty much always count on is that retail guys are going to buy. If price approaches mid or VWAP from the top, they're going to buy it. It's going to bounce. Same reverse from below. There'll be a reaction there. Yeah, so there's 4 points. I'm pretty happy I didn't short that. Maybe not. Overthinking it. I was overthinking it. And now it's too late for me. We still do have the mid VWAP VPOC, and we've just crossed past 4 o'clock. Notice that we hit 2 o'clock, right? 1400, right at the test. I'm going to have to Google that. Here's that reaction to the mid that I was talking about by retail. And they could well trade the damn thing back up to the developing value area high again. Very, very possible. And sure as the world, straight back. Now, that's not anything to sneeze about if you're able to trade that and consider this chart data to be the mean reversion, or this, say, here to here. That's, 4 handles up and down, that's 8. But we're now looking at the 1410 area. Now we're going to eat those singles. And this is where I find myself resisting taking a breakout. But the definitely liquidity is lifting off. We're into the singles, and we've got some areas above low value, the IB low, etc. I'm just not convinced at this point. And with this slight volume, what they're going to do, there's Jesus Christ, they haven't traded 1 million contracts yet. The day's almost over. 815,000 contracts since 1700 last night. Wow. I'd love to take a quick trade here and see if I could get down to that mid or VWAP again. Yeah, well, no sooner do I say that than it breaks. Oh, timing is everything. I was come up and test the developing value area high again. Are they going to do that? I'd say this is too spooky for me. I don't want to go into the New Year holiday on an L, a big loss. Big for me. I treat every trade as a major thing, as a serious. I don't fluff off any of them. Each one is serious, and I take it seriously. If I take a loss, it's if I take a loss on 2 contracts in my risk management setup and my risk neutral setup, that's $300, $312 if I haven't moved the 2 stops together yet, and I take that seriously. I don't like that. One thing I have often noticed is how easy it is to get in the wrong way. It's almost, if I didn't know better, I'd say somebody was watching. It's like, what? Goes the wrong way at the blink of an eye, and you'll get in a trade, and it'll fuss around and fuss around and fuss around to get to that scale. It's really pretty amazing, actually. Here we are at the developing value area high. I don't see any. I wish I would see NQ lead the way, and it's not. And as we approach the 250 mark, I guess we could be in danger of some squeezataria. What do we got going on here? We've got a lot of consolidation happening right here at the developing value area high is what we have. They're going to take it back through the singles, as it looks like they want to. If you look at the size of the size of these balls or bubbles or whatever the hell you want to call them, or delta, right? So this is buy delta, and buy delta looks a lot bigger than sell delta. These are delta candles down here too, but I try to keep the chart as devoid of all that other miscellaneous crap as possible. As same with my IRT charting, there's no indicators, none. There's VWAP, there's VPOC, and there's mid. I guess VWAP is technically a calculated indicator, I guess. It's not a moving average or a Fibonacci or, some of that wavy crap and Ichimoku and clouds and all that stuff. It isn't any of that. And all of those are backward looking. They're all calculated on history, including the VWAP, but it's pretty widely respected, and I'm going to continue to use it. That's the only one. They are just struggling something fierce at that value area high. Right here. I want to be sure something that I've noticed is if I'm messing around with the mouse and I've got it over on the other monitor and the IRT charting, something like that, and then I try to enter, the keyboard is, the focus is not on the proper window. So I make sure that I've clicked up here on the on this charting area, or just here anywhere. And then the keyboard will be, if I wanted to enter a trade, the keyboard would be focused in the right window. Otherwise, it's pretty frustrating when you see a setup and hit it and nothing happens. Yesterday, they traded back and forth, rotation. And then in this last hour, bam, sold off like hell. And then came back up in the last minutes, literally minute. Oftentimes around 250, 1450, between 1445, say, and 1450, 55. Huge move. Very often you'll see the liquidity will just start jamming up on either side of the price. Book will fill up. Who knows today? It's a Friday. I don't know. Here we go. And there's some absorption and some selling now. There's absorption and selling. Yeah. what's going to happen is it's going to just keep this crap up until it's down to a point where I am not going to be interested in that short. Should it tell me that that's what is going to happen? And we're fast approaching that because we're two off the, yeah, there we go. I'm going to say we're 2 points off the mid and the VWAP. So this absorption guy over here cleared the deal for me. And I don't see any, what do you call this? A retrade? Where's the trigger? Where's anything on a trade like that? And now it's looking to me like a breakout. So there you go. And the only situation that could happen for me now would be a fast break south and I just grab a little bit out of the middle. Here we are at the mid VWAP once again. Same story that happened right here. More or less right here. Same exact story here. Now, is history going to repeat itself? And I'm going to take it back up to developing value area high in the NVPOC? Are they going to just retrace back a little bit and fall off hard? That's the problem. I'd say probably going up, but I wasn't thinking long. I was thinking short. I guess my problem was I was thinking. Maybe I need to hear some bass. Let me hear some walking bass. Walk that bass. And so now the question is the VWAP mid going to hold? And we carry it higher. It's expected that we're going to get a bounce here because there's pretty much always retail. I guess the trick or the key would be to have taken the short, be scaled about here, and be looking at a runner. Now, are you going to make your runner down, or are you going to take a scratch on the runner, on the second contract or the second group, the second element of the package? The risk neutral is in packages of two, multiples of two, or even numbers, so that you can get the risk neutral scale off at one. And I don't know what to think here. This is pretty dicey for me at this point. Pretty dicey for me at this point. So with this price action today, had I been on my game, I could have made a significant contribution to my trading accounts. And they were pretty clear. It was pretty clear movement. The shorts, for me, it's always clear the short because that's my preference in trading. Now I'm looking at this thinking it's probably going to go up to the developing value area high on those NVPOCs again. And was probably long out of this consolidation, but they were sure as hell thinking about it. And this is the micro composite of this area right here, if you want to look at this little bit. And here they are developing value area high and probably up here to the NVPOCs again. So, now, if this short had been taken up in here, looking for long, or lower ground, the scale would have been here. It would be risk neutral. Stop would be up here, 3 above, right? So the worst that would happen would be a scratch, assuming that you had moved the stop up at all, or probably, any kind of trade management, like up to the bottom of this or something, in which case you'd be out already. But my thinking here is that they're going to bust this thing out of that developing value area high area and at least charge up to the IB low and a whole bunch of stuff up above there. But that's just a thought. I don't have any basis for why I think that, really, other than a bit of a short squeeze into the close. On a holiday. Who wants to be holding short on a holiday? Here we go. There's that previous liquidity that was taken out at that older naked volume point of control. Be kind of phenomenal if that thing has exactly the same reaction from the mid to that point and then back down again. That's the kind of action that makes me think, who the hell is really running this show, And you start to question whether it's actually, and then how do I find out and get aligned with them? I don't care who's doing it. I don't care if it's an auction. I don't care if it's all predestined or if it's like what's his name says it's an algorithm and he knows what it is or whatever else. I just want to know what they're doing. I would like to know the plan and be able to take my little bit out every now and then and take care of my family. Send bank time through college and make sure Ged's okay when I'm gone. That's my goal. That's what I work for every day. Look at this. Is it going to do exactly the same thing? I got to remember when that was. I'm going to not distract from the look at that. Oh my God, dang, that's just amazing. It's doing virtually the same price action. Crazy. Who'd have thought? From the low volume node And this older VPOC, twice now, bang, down, bang. Where's it going? Looks like down to me. They're down to this consolidation again. That's kind of an over-under. If they get under that, they'll be pointed at the mid and the VWAP, I guess. We now are approaching the witching hour when all the juxtaposition starts to happen. Everybody's trying to square up. There'll be a lot of people trying to square up. This is the end of the quarter, end of the month, end of the fiscal year, end of the calendar year, and in some cases fiscal year. But there's a lot of shuffling and jockeying going on right around now, I suppose. Options, steals. Yeah. Yeah, it was from back on the 20th, I guess. Well, look at this. Now, Tom in the T-Lab is looking at this short from an original call. Still hasn't been taken out. Close. No cigar. Was scaled and is now just letting it cook. And that's what you can do. You have to get to a position where you're taking trades so mechanically, essentially, based on your vetted setups, that you have no emotional attachment to them. If they absolutely, we all know, and I accept consciously and rationally that there's no. I don't know what's going to happen. It's a random outcome. It's going to go up. It's going to go down. I have no clue. So when the setup presents itself, based on this, based on the fact that I have statistically proven an edge, you take all those instances of that trade, and who cares whether if they hit, great. If they don't, well, yeah, it's a random environment. So what? No emotional attachment, and that's the emotional attachment or the emotional situation or conditions of trading. Psychological portion of it is probably much more than any of the rest, the technical or anything, because it drives what we do. Your hand clicks the mouse because your brain is telling it something, and that's based on what you feel. And now we're going to diddle fart around here like this. And yeah. And I really don't know how to participate I thought I was, and that's why I restarted the stream. I will now continue to stream this second stream of the day until the close. And I'm going to go get some water right now, which means, of course, that the damn thing is going to suddenly make the move I was looking for. So I got my water and it didn't fall out of bed. Well, that's nice. Thank you so much. I'm not so sure that it will not, however. And I'm kind of thinking the context has now changed to up. I guess the expectation that I would have at this point is that we're going to get into that string of singles and run, but run where? And the POC is below. Oh, that's a good point. That POC could pull up in that in the next little while. Another 1,000 contracts, another 800 contracts out of POCs coming up. Yeah, and think about that. So that changes everything. You see, the idea of the structured trade and whatever else is that take this outside in and get down here and on down with points south to the VPOC. But we're trading here now at about 10,800 contracts. And the VPOC is at 11,000. So a couple 300 contracts trade through, which is, normal. And the VPOC is going to jump right up to that level there now. Yeah. About a couple hundred contracts and the POC is coming up. The next time price. That would change. Next time price passes by this level right here. 20. $12 contracts. 12 contracts bring that POC to right there to 20. And there it is. There's the shift. No, I don't think I narrated that here. I was busy typing that somewhere else. Yeah, I was telling everybody to beware of the VPOC shift imminently. That's why I was moving the scale in and out so I could see where that VPOC was sitting and see the number down here, which was 1115, 115, and we were right here. That's what that's stupid. I didn't say that out loud. I was thinking that, and I typed it at 1438. And now we'll come past that, probably go down and check the price check at aisle 3 and then go the other way. And, and they're going to do whatever the hell they want. Now they're going to go down and check VWAP and VPOC and whatever else. There is a VPOC migration trade in the T-Lab, one of the structured trades of the T-Lab group. I guess the structured trades are all put in there by Tom, actually. I don't think anybody else has contributed anything there. I think he keeps it that way. So anyway, in a VPOC migration, it's called. Now we're going to come down here. They can shift that down pretty easy too. It's a twister. Yeah, so very good possibility they'll bring that VPOC back down again towards the. This is not any kind of magic science. You see the number. This is the volume of contracts traded. This aligns with the highest volume traded. So there's 530.92. Right down here is 540. So when there's 40 more contracts traded, the VPOC is going to shift down here. Pretty simple. It's real easy. There you go. It is not any kind of magic, as some would have you believe. It's like flying an instrument, you know. If you're process driven, and now what's it going to do? Is it going to go down and get that V mid and VWAP? I tell you what it's going to do is it's going to do that. Oh, look at there. And now the full session. So now they're both sitting. That's a double downshift on both VPOCs, the full session and this current session, and very close to the mid and the VWAP. So, search me what the hell is going on. What's going on is there's a lot of players manipulating the market. I can't think of any better way to say it. And here you have this headed down for the VPOC and the VWAP, right? So, what else you want to call it? Who else has deep enough pockets to be pushing this market around? The Knights, the Citadels of the world. Yes, in my view. I sure as hell don't. But they traded up, brought the POC for the current session up here. Then they brought it back down to 17, which was the consensus. And they traded it enough to get the full session VPOC from over here, starting from 1700 last night, to align. And we're 10 minutes from top of the hour. Now, the session does trade through to 1400, but I don't trade past 315. 1500, 1515. In the old days of the floor, trading stopped at 1500, and then they called it the curb trade for 15 more minutes. You know, what you did on the way out the door, out on the curb. So it's real interesting here. Ooh, look at there. There we go. Here comes the foot. Yeah, 50. Yeah. But what I'm not seeing is the big piles of liquidity. Wow. That's pretty amazing. Normally, in a normal day, this would just be full. The liquidity would be full here on both sides. What are we doing? There's another POC shift. Let's see if I get a long off of this, maybe. Too crazy.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
And we put one on there at 19. Oops. See if we can catch a couple of bucks out of this thing up here to the developing value area high. But you see the problem now with why this is a bad position. There's the first scale. It's past the obstacles. And this is not going to work out well, I don't think. Looks like I was looking for the squeeze to the mean reversion up through here. But that's not working out. Late. That was a late entry. Again. Now what's it going to do? Mean revert back the other way? Or are they going to get some action and take it up to the developing value area high again? Let's see. That would be nice if they would do that. I'd appreciate that. Doesn't look like it, however. Yeah, late entry, bad choice. Huh. There is one position off. One stop, I should say. And likely number 2 coming up here pretty quick if it doesn't get something going. And there's stop number 2. So bad choice. Waited all day. I guess I'll mark that one down as a FOMO. And now let's watch this. It's going to hit the mid just past my stops and then blast off. Yeah. So the lines are still on the chart here. There's the stops where I was taken out. There's the entry, which is very late. Looking for this higher ground on the kind of the closing swing trade. And there's my stop. Whoa, baby. Well, that was the flush that I hadn't expected. So they went the other way. I was thinking the closing swing would go up. Whoa, look at that. And my normal preference is to short, and instead I went long, and I am now sitting on a loss, you know? Boy, I'm my own worst enemy sometimes. Yeah, that's really disappointing there. Almost exactly 180 out of phase. Long at the top. So now what should have I been thinking? I was thinking that we would continue on this mean reversion trail up here and catch a couple of these back to where we had previously traded. And we may still do that from down here. But I didn't plan on that big stop run. No, I mean, it doesn't matter. I was out of the market anyway with my stops, but yeah, pretty crazy. And disappointing, but that's trading. That's the magic of trading. Now, Tom, who was sitting on a short for donkey's years, has probably come right on that, because I know him. He's held his trade and has waited, and probably got advantage of this. It's just unlike myself. Yeah. Huh. I thought there would be more of a adjustment, but I definitely this is definitely an error trade. I'll put that as a FOMO. But it's a good example of how the risk neutral setup looks. This would be the target 1, or the scale. This would be target 2. When this scale was hit, break even would have happened here. I'm sorry, yeah. And it's going the wrong way. Break even would have come down. These are the stops. Never move them. Well, generally I move the two together, but it happened so quickly that I didn't. So there's about 13 ticks stopped on that one and 12 ticks on that one. So 25 ticks. And of course, now the urge is to want to get that back. 59 seconds. So we're into and here comes some of that liquidity that's going to jam in around there usually. Yeah, they're going to hold it right there. This has probably got to do with options trading also, I guess. That's disappointing. But it's on stream, and that's the way it is. That's the joy of trading. There we go. There's that liquidity I was looking for. I can't even see this well enough to possibly trade it. I wouldn't know what the hell you would do with all that mess. I'd love to just bang along in there and get my money back. And they're going right back up to my targets too. Look at this shit. Excuse me. Look at this stuff. Right back to developing value area high in the NVPOC. I was just too early and asleep at the switch just now to have grabbed that off the low, and mean reverted back up, and look at them come back down again. Huh. I guess I'm just too slow for it. Maybe, I don't know. So there we are. And that's where my IRT, no, I changed that. I've got my IRTs charting to trade from 1700 to 1400. That way the other people, because I push these IRT levels to Cloud Map for other people in the Traders Lab. I put a link up that they can use that don't have IRT but do have Bookmap. That's just disappointing as hell. Oh well. Oh Well, pretty disappointing. Oh, and I'll tell you something else that's disappointing. I didn't take the screen grab of that. Where is it? Right there. I forgot to catch a screen grab of that trade. But there we go. Yeah, that's disappointing. And exactly what I had planned transpired a bit later. I got hammered right here. The drop and back up. Now, if I was a gambler and, if I wish I could have, I should have grabbed along here and held it up here and I'd have doubled up on the loss. And that's gambling. Where's that a structured trade? Who the hell knew this was coming? I sure didn't. You could say it was a mean reversion down and back up again. Yeah, well, I've got to get better at this soon, or I'm going to have a bunch of equipment sitting around here I don't use anymore because I'm getting fed up with it. Lately, it's been a struggle for me. Others, however, are just having a fine time. Tom does really well, and he lives a good life from the sounds of it. His home is in Chicago, but he was just in Barcelona and Spain for a month, I think. And just now on the T-Lab, he announced that he'll be going down to Costa Rica for a few months for the winter. He streams from down there just as he did from Spain. A year or so ago, he went down to Costa Rica, and that's pretty convenient because it's the same time zone and that stuff, plus, warm and tropical, so that's good. Nice life. Got the ideal life. And I'm sure a gigundous account, so that helps. That certainly helps. So I think what I'm going to do is wish this stream a happy new year, peaceful weekend, shut the stream off, confirm that the audio is okay once again. I did that once already, but I'll do it again with this one. And now I can pull the data to Rhythmic will automatically push this trade data to my other machine so I can upload it and bring the data into the database for that journal. Once market has closed 1600, I shut off Bookmap every day, and then I reopen Jigsaw and update the trades from Rhythmic to Jigsaw. Normally, I have Jigsaw running at the same time, but because of the situation I have with this account and Rhythmic, I can only have one add-in as opposed to two. So I can't have IRT and Jigsaw both running at the same time. Otherwise, it's all automatic. But it's not a big problem. I just go at the end of the day, and after one of them shut down, Bookmap or Jigsaw, IRT. Sounds like somebody's talking here. I'm going to try to quickly record that. I suppose it's Tom talking. Yeah. I hear it in the background. And then those trades are imported into the Journalytics, which is I think I talked about that earlier. So I will let this wind off here now till 1600, and I'll pull the stream down at this point. So Happy New Year. It's Friday, 29th of December, 2023. Next time I'm up on stream will be next year, 2024. Have a safe holiday.